what you would have learned from Guyana from through his eyes?
Well, it was meant to be a short interview, and actually he gave me a lot of time, and it was a really extensive interview. And after the interview, he said, wow, that was very different. Normally people talk to me about the problems. You spoke to me about my psyche, about what I was thinking, about why I'm leading in the way I'm leading, the why, essentially, and the values behind it. So I think he found it quite refreshing, and our conversation began with, I think it began with the new year. You're right at the beginning of the year. You've been in this seat now for 18 months or more. What are we going to see from you in this next year? And immediately I could see that he wasn't just thinking of a year. He really does have a long-term vision. And immediately he began speaking about empowering and creating the leaders of the future. So although he has a long-term vision, it wasn't about sitting in that seat forever. It was about how can I make sure the youth of this country are equipped and ready to be leaders, not just political leaders, but leaders in every single field. And to begin an interview like that, you already know you have someone extraordinary in front of you.
Mm-hmm. I can't leave without asking this question. Obviously, it has to be about the oil. According to the research, you're the global authority in values. Based on that, do you believe we're in the right place to manage that resource as well as we could?
So I've spoken to not only the president, but also the vice president and quite a few ministers. And I think that was important to speak to the breadth and depth within government, because sometimes, despite how the person at the helm is, if everyone else is singing a different song or doing a different thing, sometimes they can just end up undermining the president. And what I found was actually there's a very strong relationship between the president and the vice president, and almost there's a really good balance between them, such that it's as if you're steering a ship and it's not going to become unbalanced because you have two people to make sure that it's being steered in the right way, or you have like a true vice president who is, you know, guiding, mentoring, supporting. And then for their vision to then be often verbatim spoken through quite a few of the ministers that I met, that was really insightful. Because if you're going to speak about something like, let's say, one Guyana, but you're not one party or you're not one within your government, then you can forget about the whole country being one. And so it really was a case, at least from my experience and from everyone I've spoken to, that they're singing from the same hymn sheet.
And how crucial is that, based on your expertise in going around the world, how crucial is that in that there's unison in terms of where the developmental trajectory of the country should be going?
You know, if you have opposition right next to you, like often can happen in the case of a coalition, you spend your time battling that rather than getting anything done. And that is even the case, I found, even for someone like Barack Obama. I remember there being so many stops and starts, so many hurdles that had to be overcome, and so much of the vision was watered down. We could call it checks and balances, but you could also call it breaks, or just not empowering your leadership to actually lead. Mm-hmm. And then 5 years down the line or 4 years down the line, there's a shift in power and everything that's been done then becomes undone. I mean, there are some serious, it's serious, it's not just a setback, it's almost undermines what you expect or what you would wish of a leader of a country. So to have that cohesion is vital if you're trying to make progress.